Welcome back, guys. So I'm going to show you how to do some quick spells using cascarilla, black peppers, and bind rope, and a petition. So for this ritual, it is for those of you that want to push back certain bill collectors, especially if, let me say this first, it can't be in collections. If it's already gone as far as it's in collections already, then you got to work with lost stay away. And you need to do a lost stay away jar, and you also need to do an influence jar for the person that's contacting you that's through collections. But for this ritual, it is good for those of you that owe minor bills, and you want a bit of time. You want to push them back a bit to leave you alone just for a bit. It's not going to stop them. It's just going to give you time for them to leave you alone, for you to either come up with the money or figure out a resolution on how you're going to get this situation covered. There's a lot of rituals you can do as well to like not pay a bill at all, like to kind of let it like just float in the air without them bothering you at all. But for this particular ritual, it's going to push them back a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It'll buy you time, even people that you owe. So somebody you owe a bill, or even like a situation where it's something like child support. You just need some time. So this is what I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay, so the cascarilla, you need some cascarilla. I crushed up two, and I put them in a mortar and pestle. And then I crushed up some black peppers. And you want the colorful black peppers. I use the red for protection, I use the black for defense, and I use the white for obstacles. So when you put all three together, they work really good to defend you. And then you crush them up really, really well. And I added in a bit of black salt. I added in the black salt because black salt is good for getting rid of certain people that you don't want around you, getting rid of certain energies that you no longer want lingering around you, and just kind of removing certain things you no longer want in your life. It's like I said, it's not going to stop the bill. It's not going to remove it. It's not going to remove that person that you may owe, but it'll buy you some time. It'll give you a couple of weeks. It'll give you a couple of months. Okay, so what you do is after you've crushed up everything and gathered everything together, and let me say this, these are two items, so there should be no questions in regards to can you substitute it. Once you substitute it, kind of like switches up and changes up the whole aspect of the spell. So a lot of times when I do tell you no substitutions, because it shouldn't take you much to get these two items together, even if it's more than those items. If you don't have certain items for a ritual, don't do it until you get everything, okay? And it's real simple. Bind rope, you can find anywhere. You pray over it, you bless it, and you say a few psalms over it, and you use it to bind certain things up, like petitions. So after you've crushed up and you've gotten all your items together, the first thing you're going to do is, if it is a bill, you're going to cut out the amount that you owe for the bill, and you're going to burn it. And these are the ashes, right? So you take the ashes, or if it is a particular person that you do owe, if you guys do have a verbal agreement, make a copy of, like, pull up a fake contract and then write down what you owe them and then cut that out and burn that amount, right? Then you're going to take a separate piece of paper and you're going to write their name going down 9 times, right? The name of them or the company or whoever you owe, right? It'll go straight down from top to bottom 9 times. Right? Then after that, you're going to take your name and the amount, and you're going to write, and you're going to go down in a curve. And you're going to do that 9 times over it. So your name is going to go over from the top all the way over and then down. You're going to come down on them. Every word. Don't be straight. Go all the way down. 9 times. You should know how to do a petition. I've showed you guys how to do a petition. If you do need help writing out the petition and what to do and word it, I'll help a few of you out on how to do that. But majority of you know what to do already. You just need to know how to set things up. So their name going down 9 times and the amount you owe them, and then your name going over them in a curve. Okay? And then within the petition, you should be stating for them to buy. Well, how much time do you need? Give me a few weeks. You will get paid. You're going to get your money. Write your name, and then you're going to write down whatever it is that pertaining to whatever it is. For $500, I'm going to pay you $500 in January. Write it over. in a curve. You got to come down on them. You're going to do that 9 times. Then once you're done, you're going to take the ashes and you're going to put the ashes inside of the black pepper. You're going to crush that up. Mortar and pestle. This ashes, so it's going to blend quick. You're going to put that in there. Then you're going to take the paper with the petition. You're going to put the cascarilla, the grounded cascarilla. If you make your own cascarilla, make sure that the eggs are really, really, really clean and you have them sitting to dry at least for a couple of weeks. Because sometimes when you take it too fresh, it smells really, really bad. So if you do make your own cascarilla, make sure the eggs have dried out for a couple of weeks. You want them to be really, really dry. Then you take your mortar, your pestle, you crush it up, and you add a few. When I make my cascarilla, I didn't make this one, but when I do make like homemade cascarilla, I add in a few other ingredients to it to help it crush down really, really good. So, okay, so put all the ingredients in here. Then what you're going to do, you're going to get your bind rope, okay? Get the bind rope, get some influence oil, and you're going to tie this up really, really, really good. The petition should be folded outward, every corner, and make sure that you seal the corner so that the powder doesn't come out. That's the first thing you'll do. Every corner folded outward so that none of the powders, none of the black pepper, none of the black salt, nothing comes out, right? Then you fold it forward again. It'll be probably a thicker petition packet because of the powders. And then you take the bind rope and you tie it up really, really, really good. Now, you can't put it in the freezer. Remember, freezers are temporary rituals. So freezers, as long as you have it in there, is when it will work. The minute it comes down, freezer spells will come down. Freezer spells are temporary. I always tell you guys this. Freezer spells are not nothing that's going to last a lifetime unless you keep it in there for that long. So if you have things in your freezer, I have things in the freezer that I've had for years. 5, 6, 10 years. I've never taken it out. And those spells are actively going to stay like that. And usually if I do a freezer spell, I'm going to do something else in the meantime, because that freezer spell is going to buy me time to do certain things and several things, depending on what is in that jar, depending on what it is, who is in there, and how well that petition is written. So it can go in the freezer. It can also go in a regular jar. You don't need to put vinegar and stuff. You don't need to sour them. They're already waiting for their money. If you put them more in a situation to where they're going to get upset with you and you guys are not going to be on good terms, you could really make it bad for you. So no matter who it is, if it's a bill, even if it's, like I said, a current bill, you just don't have the money right now, you need some time, then you do it. A person that you owe. So it could be a car note. You know that you don't have the money this month and you really don't want the problems. You don't want them bothering you and stuff like that. Then you do the ritual. In the meantime, you figure out another ritual to help you to push them back or to help you get more money. And that is something that a lot of you can do. Once you figure out, okay, I'm going to push them back for a couple of weeks, it'll give me another 5, 6 weeks to buy time, even if it's rent. It'll push them back. It will push the landlord back. It will push the management group back. But remember, wording it to the person that is going to bother you. So if you know that the management, there's a specific lady from management that's going to be calling you and bothering you, that's who you deal with. Remember, when it comes down to bigger groups, like bigger firms, bigger businesses, there's always somebody there that is going to do the dirty work for them. So you can't just put down the name of the business because it's made up of several hundred people. Be specific and word out to that person. And it should be one packet per situation. And if it's a situation that's minor, like a ticket, like for speeding, for court, like minor things that you did, do an ammonia jar for that. That's simple. Ammonia jar will deal with that. Write out the current situation as it is, and then put that ammonia jar in a bag in a very dark spot and leave it there. Once the situation has came through and has been settled, then you go and get rid of the jar. My ammonia jar video explains how to do it, where to put it, and depending on the situation, where you should be burying it. For some of you, you want to bury it at crossroads and different stuff. Some of you could put it in the river, flowing away from your home, different types of stuff like this. But for this situation, don't put down several bill collectors. You don't want to do that. And make sure that when you do the petition, that you make sure you come over and down on it and word it well. It's really simple when it comes down. Once you start doing the petition, it becomes really, really easy. And like I said, if you don't have the multicolor, the peppercorns, then do black. But try to get a few things together. And you want to make sure that you burn the amount that is owed to go in with the black peppers and the black salt. You must do that. You must burn that amount. And then if you want to also, if you have the paperwork, like say from AT&T that you owe, they say you owe them $400. Once you have burned the amount that you owe, you take a piece of that same paper, and then you can use that as a petition and write on it and wrap it up and bind it and freeze it, or put it in a jar and keep it there. And that jar is going to retain it, okay? You keep that jar in a secluded, dark, cold place. You can put it outside of your house. You want to just buy enough time. It's not going to, like I said, it's not going to protect you from them. It's not going to make them go away that easily, but it'll give you more than enough time to deal with the situation, to handle the situation until you can figure out exactly what to do. So I've told you everything that you needed, and I'll put a little list there. If you need anything there, which would be what? The Cascarilla, you go to my shop, but you should be able to find all of these supplies. Small stuff like this should be around your house. Like if you have like a little witchy area in your house where you do things, you should have all this stuff. You should have the buying rope, you should have the petition paper, you should have the peppercorns, you should have the cascarilla, and you should have different mortars and pestles to deal with different situations. Depending on what type of powder I'm grinding up, I'm going to use a different color. This mortar and pestle works real good for me. I don't like the wooden ones. The wooden ones crack after a while. Sometimes I like to put certain liquids within my mortar and pestle to help break down and liquefy certain things. So over time, the wooden one is of no use. So I like a good hard ceramic one. And like I said, this is a simple spell. It'll push them back, and it'll give you more than enough time to get things together. And wherever I post this, I'm probably gonna post it on all my social medias. I'll probably shorten it for TikTok and Instagram and stuff. But for YouTube, I'm posting on YouTube as well, and my Facebook. If you need help, just comment. Don't DM me, because I'm not going to answer them. My DMs get really filled, and I'm unable to answer all those DMs. So you either, if it's something important in regards to it, axmagic@gmail.com, or you just comment below wherever you see it. Like, subscribe, and stay blessed, guys.